Welcome back to Fox and Friends. Woke curriculum taking over the classroom. In Newport Beach, California, one teacher is caught on camera bragging about making her students pledge allegiance to the pride flag instead of the American flag. And in Sacramento, a teacher was removed after this Project Veritas video came to light.
I'll use that. This is antithetical too. I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you
scare the out of them?
So how can we protect our kids from this indoctrination? Former professor at Princeton and Vanderbilt University's Carol Swain joins us now. Carol, it's always an honor to have you on the show. What can parents do? Because so much of this seems so systemic, and that many of these teachers are coming out of very Marxist-infected teachers' colleges.
I can tell you that since George Floyd's death, there has been like an explosion of critical race theory affecting every school in America, I would say, public, private, Christian, and they have a Marxist agenda. And I have been contacted by so many parents, teachers, administrators, and policymakers. And as a result, I have written a book, Black Eye for America, How Critical Race Theory is Burning Down the House. And in it, I talk about some things that we can do. One is, it's important for people to truly know what critical race theory is, where it came from, and how it impacts our society. They're seeing some of it. It changes form. They need to know how to identify it, and they need to use our laws, the Constitution, and fight the legality and constitutionality of critical race theory, because it's not constitutional to treat people differently, to discriminate against them. We have civil rights laws in place. They protect white people as well as black people. They protect males and females. And the parents, they are pushing back. They need to push back. They are organizing. That's important, to organize across racial, ethnic, and political lines. It affects every American. It is a civil rights issue. I think it is the civil rights issue of our time.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I couldn't agree with you more on your first point, which is that the first step is to get informed. Because, by the way, I've been to schools where I've interviewed the principals and brought up CRT, and they'll say, oh, that's just, a dog whistle. That's not really happening. That's just Fox News. And that's what they do. They try and gaslight you and tell you you're crazy or you're a radical if you bring up this subject, when we all know that it is happening. And sometimes, as you said, it's built into the curriculum, especially in this post-George Floyd world that we're in. I want to talk to you a little bit about what one school district is doing. It's the Mars area in Pennsylvania. The school board there added, with the direction of the parents, of course, they added patriotism to the district mission statement. They said items under promotion of patriotism are displayed the American flag in all buildings, athletic facilities, and each classroom, provide an opportunity for everyone to recite the Pledge of Allegiance daily, whether in person or remote, play the national anthem before all home games, promote civility and decency in the treatment of others, and respect free speech, conscience, and religious liberty rights of all students and employees. Again, simple, so important, because in many of these schools, Carol, I don't have to tell you, the pride flag is displayed more prominently than the American flag. And we all need to find something to unite around. Diversity is good, but we also have to talk about what we have in common, which is our patriotism, our love of country, this beautiful place we live in.
I agree 100%. And there are schools that are pushing back against the 1619 curriculum.
Yes.
They're embracing 1776, Unites, and the teaching of true American history, the teaching of the civil rights movement, where Americans came together and said, no, we're not going to condone racial discrimination or sex discrimination. And so that is what we need more schools to do, and more parents and policymakers to stand up against racially discriminatory treatment of our children.
All right. Carol Swain, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Always words of wisdom from you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.